account maintenance fee, ATM fees, transfer fees, late fees. Does it ring a bell? Are you frustrated about your bank fees? Well, you're not alone. If we look at those Google trends for the US, Singapore, France, or even Japan, everybody keeps looking and searching about those terms. What you need to know about the fees. What are those fees? And more importantly, how do you come ahead and stop wasting money? That's what we're going to talk about today. As soon as you click the like button for the YouTube algorithm, it would help us a lot. Thank you. Let's get started. Hello everyone, I'm Yoram from Economia, your destination for financial independence, tips to invest and spend wisely. In the US, you probably pay around $87 a year just in maintenance fee for your bank account. In France, this goes up to $218 a year, and Singapore, it can be as high as $180. That's a lot of money, especially with very low interest rate. You're not getting much money out of your deposits. Actually, it's the same in Japan, but even worse with very, very low interest rates for your money. And if you are Gen Z, meaning starting in your life, you are likely to pay as much as 3 times more than everybody else for your bank fees. That's a lot of money, especially when you're getting started. Do you know how much you're paying to your bank every year? Have you checked? Isn't it a lot of money? Yes, I can see you're getting frustrated already. Let's look at what fees you're paying and what they are. So those bank fees, what are they? It's important to understand because you can't fight an enemy that you don't know well. Let's start. The basic one is monthly maintenance fee. So it's a fee you pay every month just to have a bank account. And usually you need to pay that if you don't have a balance that's high enough. Yes, you're paying for the right to have a bank account. It's crazy, isn't it? Next one is the ATM fee. Of course, not everybody uses cash, but everybody needs cash sometime. And every time you take some money out of the ATM, if you're not using your bank ATM, you're gonna pay a fee. This can be quite high. Then you have the like of the overdraft fee. You are overspending. You have a line of credit and you're going over. You pay a fee on this. That can be a lot of money too. Then there's one I really like, the excess transaction fee. You can have a number of transactions per month on your bank accounts, checking accounts most of the time. But if you go over this number of transactions, you have to pay a fee. Transaction can be anything, right? Remittance, sending money. You get basically a fee for that as well. Quite crazy, right? The next one is the insufficient fund fee. You've made a transaction, there was not enough money. So basically, you have to pay. They completed the transaction for you or they blocked the transactions. Either way, you have to pay a fee. Bummer. Then there is the remittance fee. You're making a wire transfer. If it's within your bank, sometimes it's free or you have a certain amount of remittance that are free. But if it's to another bank or if you're sending or receiving money internationally, you have to pay again. Then, of course, if you are still using checkbooks, then you have to pay a fee. Maybe you have a few checks you can use in a given period of time, but if you go over that, every single additional check is going to be an additional fee. And if you want to change your checkbook, then again, you have to pay another fee. That's a lot of fees, isn't it? Do you know all the fees you're paying with your bank? Same question as before. Are you getting frustrated? I am just talking about it. This is crazy, isn't it? So with all those fees, what's really important and what you've been waiting for is how do you come ahead? How we stop wasting money with bank fees. That's what we're going to talk about. But first, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a guy on YouTube. And this is only for entertainment and information purpose. Do your own research. Thank you. Let's start with the monthly maintenance fee. Those exist, but they are less and less actually. What you need to do is shop around for the bank that's going to provide you with the services you need without a monthly maintenance fee. Usually, online banks are a good idea, but actually, I did a bit of research for you. If you are in the US, here are 5 banks that will offer you services without a monthly maintenance fee. If you are in France, here are a few more banks you can try. In Singapore, I found these few banks with a total of 6 accounts that have no maintenance fee and no minimum balance. Some of the banks have actually 2 options, that's why it's a bit more. And for Japan, all of those online banks are providing accounts without minimum maintenance fee, or minimum balance, and no maintenance fee. So it pays to shop around and making sure that you're getting what you need without paying for something you don't. Another tip is to sign up for direct deposits. What it means is to sign up to have either your salary or your benefits directly wired to your bank account. Usually, the banks are going to waive any monthly maintenance fee if you do this. They really like because they get directly your money in the bank account. It's kind of a guarantee that there's always going to be a balance. So it's really something you should check. And if your bank proposes you to waive the fees for these kind of things, you could just sign up. It's very quick and it's really, really easy. The next one that comes a lot is ATM fee. The ATM fees are there. If you retrieve money from an ATM that's not in your bank or in your bank group, you're going to pay a fee. And the fee can be as high as 3% of the amount. That's a lot of money. So let's be smart. If you need to retrieve money, do it into your own bank or with an ATM with which your bank has an agreement so you don't pay those crazy ATM fees. Look as well at what time you can retrieve. In some countries, for example Japan, if you do it during daytime, usually you don't pay a fee. But if it's after 6 p.m. or 8 p.m., there's a fee. Yes, or the weekend, you're going to have extra fee. So it's really important to check this out. Additionally, another tip is when you retrieve money, don't retrieve 10 or 20 bucks. Retrieve $100, $200 at a time. Because if you had to pay for a fee, at least the amount you're paying is going to be smaller proportionally. And you're going to have more money in your pocket. But try to avoid ATMs as much as you can, if possible. Now we have cashless solutions and mobile wallets. Actually, we just had a video about it. And that could be a solution for you to reduce the fee if you can't find an ATM or no fee ATM related to your bank around. If you have many transactions every month, you need to do wire transfers or remittance, try to group them. Try to look where you're sending this money. This is for accounts that have a maximum number of transactions per month. That would avoid the over transaction or the exceeding transaction fee. Just be smart. Try to group things together. If you have to send money to relatives, maybe you can send 1 time rather than 3 times during the month. That could be something interesting to do. Then there is the overdraft fee. The overdraft fee is like you are spending more than you have. You have a draft and you're going over. An easy way to do it is to only spend what you have and do a budget. Really making sure that you never overspend. That's being frugal. That's an important one. It may happen sometimes that we have to use a bit more. In that case, having an emergency fund, we talked about emergency fund in this video, for example, is a good way in case your payments, your salary or your benefit is a bit late and you have to pay something, you don't have this draft, this overdraft, and you have one less fee. The next one is the wire transfer fee. If you are wiring money or transferring money domestically, usually you won't have to pay, not anymore. Especially if you have a limited number of transactions in a month, usually you can manage to find a bank account where it's free to transfer the money. But if you are transferring money internationally in different currencies, this can become very, very expensive. In the US, we are talking about $35 to $50 per transaction. This is a lot of money. Japan actually is not that much better, as you can see on screen. We are talking everywhere from $25 to $35 per transaction. It really depends which bank you are in. That's a lot of money. There you need to shop around again. Maybe you should look at online banks. Usually they have the lowest fees and they have very good deals. Two that I'm aware of, and I have subsidiaries in a lot of different countries, in Europe, in Asia, maybe in the US as well. Of course, I'm talking about Wise, used to be called TransferWise, and as well as Revolut. Those two have really, really good rates and really, really good deal to transfer between many currencies internationally. That could be a very good option. I personally use Revolut, as you probably know, and look at this new card I just got. Pretty nice packaging, isn't it? And actually Revolut provides referral links for customers. So what I did is I put my referral link just down below under the video for you to give it a try. It's only valid for Japan though. So if you're living in Japan and want to try Revolut, please try the link below. I'll get a little something, you'll get a little something. This is not sponsored, I'm not getting paid for that. I'm just trying to give you a hand from what I know is working. Two more tips. One is check. If you're still using checkbooks, and that can happen in a lot of countries, please make sure that you know the details. Maybe you get a checkbook once a year. This one is no fee, but you probably have a limited number of checks you can write and use before you get a fee. And usually it's a monthly amount. Sometimes it might be a quarterly or a yearly amount. So making sure that you're not using too much checks. Finally, this is a recommendation from a lot of banks. You should sign up for automatic alerts. What are automatic alerts is that if your balance goes close to the minimum you're supposed to keep, if you have an account with a minimum balance, you're going to receive a text or an email telling you you have some trouble ahead, so you can take measures to avoid falling below the minimum. Banks are a fact of life. We have to use them, and they can be very useful. But there are also bank fees, and we need to be smart and not waste our money. So know how much you're paying. Know the details about your bank fees. And do not hesitate to shop around. You shop around for cars, or for computers, or for phones. Do the same for your bank. If you're frugal and shop around, you should be able to save a lot of money and come ahead with bank fees and not feel like you've been robbed by your own bank. That's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch. If you like this content or learned something, please give it a like, subscribe for more content. Do not hesitate to leave a comment if you have any idea, if we missed something, if you have questions. And there's the referral link for Revolut down below if you want to give it a try. Thank you again, and until next time. Goodbye.